Welcome back to AZ Astro. So I've had about 2 weeks worth of completely clear skies, with the exception of one night the other night that clouds came rolling in halfway through the night. No big deal. So I've been doing as much imaging as I can. This is my fourth night imaging NGC1492, which is the Fossil Footprint Nebula. I was looking around on there after doing the helix in the last video and having to deal with the power lines and only getting so much data. I wanted to do something that would come high up in the sky, something I've never imaged before. And I decided on the NGC1492, the Fossil Footprint Nebula, which kind of is in the northeast sky, and it comes up over the north, right above where I'm at, and then sets in the northwest. So I decided to do that one. I'm able to image it literally all night long because it comes up about an hour before dark and sets about an hour after dark. So it's the perfect, it's the perfect object to image. So like I said, I've done about 4 hours. So I'm imaging right now. I have had almost no issues with my telescope so far, so I'm really happy about that. So I'll see you guys in at the computer. It's imaging right now. I think it's on the hydrogen alpha filter, but I'll start recording on that so you guys can see the images I'm getting, and then we'll talk a little bit more about my imaging session because there's a couple new things that I've been doing. So I'll see you in at the computer. All right, so we're back in here at the computer. This is one of the images from the hydrogen alpha filter. It actually looks really, really good. If you zoom in, you can see a lot of the clouds. You can see the very middle right there. I've noticed the last 3 or 4 nights that hydrogen alpha and oxygen 3 both give really, really good images. Sulfur 2 is really lacking. I think sulfur 2 has a little bit of the center area right there, but that's about it. So I might just say forget the sulfur 2, and I might just do a HOO image. We'll find out once I actually get stuff processed. I'll get the sulfur 2s stacked. Since I did take the images, I'll get them stacked and see what they look like stacked. But I might just do HOO. I'm not sure yet. One of the things that you guys know I've been struggling on is my guiding has been like 1.8, 1.9. So I spent one of the nights working on my mount. I didn't do anything physical to my mount, but I spent a little while recording PEC curves and loading them into EQ mod. So right here, as you can see, let me go to, so that's my PEC curve. So I actually recorded three PEC curves, and I put them in PEC prep. And I don't know if I succeeded at this, but I'm pretty sure that I combined all 3 of them together to come up with this PEC curve. And so now every time I load up the mount, it'll have this PEC curve. And that took my guiding from 1.8 to, for the last 3 nights, I've been varying between 0.6 and 0.8, which is really good. That's right back to where it was before I started having these issues. So I'm really excited about that I've got my guiding back down a little bit. I've been debating on whether I want to tear my EQ6 apart and clean it all up, get all the grease out of there, replace the bearings with good bearings, and throw in some brand new grease. But at the moment, I don't know if I want to do that because I am getting, this is decent guiding, especially for the middle of Phoenix, Bortle, 8 skies. I'm almost Bortle 9 now. I'm pretty sure with my backyard neighbors and the condo that lights their place up like it's on the surface of the sun, I'm pretty sure where I actually am in my backyard is Bortle 9. I know when I look up in the sky, I can count the amount of stars that I see on like 2 hands. So I'm pretty sure I'm Bortle 9 where I specifically am. But still, I get pretty good images, lots of nice stars. I've also been watching a lot of videos on PixInsight, trying to get my processing down better. And as you guys know, anybody who's used PixInsight knows that there's just an unending amount of things you can do with PixInsight. It blows my mind, and I'm learning something new every single time I use it. But I think I've got a pretty good sequence down to get my images much better than they have been. I'm actually following Quiv, the Lazy Geeks. It's not really a guide, but his video that shows the HOO processing that he did on a one-shot color image. And I started to reprocess the Helix Nebula to see if I could get that any better, because I wasn't happy with the final image that I had. There was too much blue in it. The reds were... There wasn't nearly enough red, and the trailing on both sides, or the point, the gas cloud points on the east and west of the nebula had disappeared. So I've been slowly trying to reprocess that. If I have it done before this video comes out, I'll probably throw it in the video so you guys can see a better process of the Helix Nebula. But there's a lot of gradient in the back of the picture. I noticed that all the corners up here on the image are all a nasty red, and there's just gradients of red here, and then black here, and then red, and it's really nasty. I've got to do some Google research to see how I can get rid of those gradients. But yeah, other than that, the image is pretty good. I can't wait to get this image out. I've got, see, 4 nights worth of imaging, so I'm pretty sure I've got at least 4 to 5 hours through each filter on the Fossil Footprint Nebula, on this nebula here. So I'm hoping that it'll come out really good. I'm going to spend some extra time processing it, since that's one of my flaws, is I have no patience. And so I need to learn to take my time with processing the images, like I had to take my time with the images. Because when I started my YouTube channel, I was doing like one night, an hour in each filter, and then that's the image. And then doing this YouTube channel and realizing, wow, the images I'm putting at the ends of my videos I'm not at all happy with them. I don't like them. And that really, really forced me to say, okay, I need to spend more than just an hour or 50 minutes or 30 minutes through each filter on each image. So now I'm averaging usually about 4 hours through each filter for most images, with the exception of Helix Nebula, and that was entirely because I only had like 2 hours a night to image Helix because of the power lines and the trees, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so I'm hoping this image will turn out good. Some other stuff is the property that I was going to purchase, the 42 acres out in the Bortle 2 skies of the Arizona desert. I have actually done it, so now I officially have purchased the property. I have full access to the property. I'll be paying for it over the next 5 years, just like a mortgage. But I have full access to the property, so I'm going to be going out Monday night here in about 5 days. And I'll get some images of the actual property, some video, and then I'm going to try to do the Pleiades Nebula, or the Pleiades, not the nebula, but the Pleiades, through my Hyperstar 6 in Bortle 2 skies, which I won't need a filter, so I'm really, really, really excited about that. See how good of a photo I can get with that. So, if anything changes, I will come back on and show you. Oh boy, that looks like satellites. That's okay though. I very rarely get satellites in my images. It's really odd, because I know everybody else was saying once StarNet was launched and everything, they're all saying that they get satellites, start throwing away half their images and everything. I think the last, 5 or 6 imaging sessions that I've done, I've had very, very little satellites going through my images. Like, this is the worst satellite I've had going through my images. And this might be a plane too, the middle and then the tips of the two wings. I'm not sure, but I mean, I throw away maybe 2 to 3 images because of satellites or planes during an imaging session while I'm processing. But I don't know, maybe I'm just lucky, which is really weird because I have an airport literally like 4 miles south of me. So you would think that I would have constant planes going through my images. But I guess I'm just lucky in my backyard. But yeah, I will see you guys at the end of the video with the finished image if nothing happens and I have to come back on. Alright, so here's my first S2 image. As you can see right here, it's, like I said, it is very, very little. But it is enough to justify stacking them all together to see what I get. For some reason, my sequence is all messed up over here, which makes 0 sense because I'm on sulfur 2. And it even shows in the sequence over here that I'm on sulfur 2. 1 of 12 images. And it even says right there, exposing. But yeah, I don't know why it shows that, and I'm not worried about it. But yeah, this is a sulfur 2. The oxygen 3 is about 3 times that much. But like I said, I'll get all 3 stacked, and then I'll go from there, see what they look like. So I will have the end image, or I'll have the final image at the end of the video, and I hope it comes out. So I will see you guys in the next video.